what I welcome from what the Minister said is that the GRC system is imperfect. And in all the speeches from the PAP MPs and the NMPs, I did not hear a defense to the argument that the GRC system is ridden on for gerrymandering purposes. There was no convincing argument to me why Fengshan comes out when it's a tight GRC, when it's a tight SMC. Juchet becomes a GRC, is included into a GRC when it's a tight SMC at previous elections. This is another concern, another fundamental core concern that the opposition, specifically the Workers' Party, have about the GRC system. So I don't think the PAP can walk away from any topic on the GRC by saying multiracialism is important for Singapore. We all agree with that. But what of the matter when the rubber meets the road, when we look at how the boundaries are redrawn? The GRC system is used for that purpose as well. That's the conclusion I draw respectfully.
Are there other systems that we can think of, that we can evolve? Certainly. Even in the short history of our country, we have constantly tried to evolve different systems to meet our needs according to the times. And we must continue to do so. Any system that doesn't evolve according to the needs of the time will be obsolete. And that doesn't serve Singapore and Singaporeans well. So we can continue to discuss how we can evolve the systems, what are the executional issues. But today, the vote on this motion hinges on this. To abolish the GRC. Do we abolish the GRCs because we don't agree, as the PSP, with the philosophy? Or do we abolish the GRC because we agree with the fundamentals, but there are some things in the execution that you think that we can evolve? That is the crux.
These are not new accusations, and they exist whether we have GRCs or no single-member constituencies. I just wanted to ask Mr. Pritam Singh whether he knows where the term gerrymandering comes from and how far back it goes, and whether or not they have GRCs in those places.
Firstly, I don't know exactly, precisely the origins of gerrymandering, the term, but I think like many people, it's like you know it when you see it. And I think we have seen it for all and sundry, as for the two SMCs I mentioned over the last decade, Fengshan, Juchet. Yes, there could be gerrymandering in single-member constituencies too, but indeed what we have been dealing with is a GRC system, and the coincidences are quite uncanny, and not just the last decade, but I referred to the table that Mr. Lau put forward in this House. Every constituency which is a tight fight between the PAP and the WP, what happens? It's gone. So until we can have some assurance from the PAP, will you stop using the GRC for this purpose?
The accusations of gerrymandering happen in every country where the electoral boundaries being drawn or redrawn. Gerrymandering goes back 200 years or more. In the United States of America, what we consider the sort of paragon of democracy today, and those accusations are still being made for gerrymandering, and so it is not an issue of whether it is a GRC or as an SMC. In fact, I think as Mr. Leong has pointed out, Ms. Hazel Poh has pointed out, it is those GRCs or those constituencies that have been won by the opposition where it's not been changed at all. And I don't understand why the EBRC has not changed them, but perhaps you can make a request for them all to become SMCs. That may be an interesting idea.